Well, we started in 1996. It's almost 20 years now. My partner, one of my partners and I were home brewers, and we decided that we wanted to make our hobby a business. And we had won some awards as home brewers, and thought, hey, wouldn't this be great? And in the beginning, it was kind of for fun. We made beer. We took beer everywhere we went, and we were the two beer geeks that always had a six-pack of home brewed beer. Eventually, I worked for my father for 10 years, and we had a billboard business, and we eventually sold that in 1994. So at that point, it kind of got serious. I needed a job, and so we had started a business plan and started to put it to refine it. Started to look for sites. We had hoped to open in Wilmington, Delaware. We had all lived in Wilmington at that point. Couldn't find a site, and ended up finding a site in Newark, Delaware. And when we opened there, Newark is home of University of Delaware, which is the biggest university in the state of Delaware. And most of the restaurants and bars in Newark were really geared towards the undergrads, and we felt that there was a niche for us to fill with the local folks and the grad students and the faculty and so forth. So when we designed our original restaurant, and also the brewery restaurant, most brewery restaurants were brew pubs then, really focusing on pub food. My other partner, Kevin, had come from fine dining, and he really had that fine dining background. So our goal was to kind of take brew pubs upscale a little bit. And so we weren't really gearing towards students. And we opened in Newark that first year. We thought we would do $1 million in food sales. We ended up doing $2 million in food sales. So we sold a lot more food than we anticipated. And it kind of took off from there. We have three core values. We call them our three Ps: people, products, and profits. And actually, under the profits one of the goals is to actually be profitable so we can get back to the communities that we serve. So it goes right to our core values in terms of we want to be in communities. It's part of even of our strategy. We try to find places where we can become a part of the community. One of them is people.
Okay.
And the goal of that core value is really to create an environment that allows our people to have a balance in life. The restaurant business can be tough, but also to create an environment for them to develop and grow. And I like to say that when I got into this business 20 years ago, it was all about beer for me. I was a beer geek, still am a beer geek, and I'm still very passionate about beer. But the thing that drives me today is the people that work for me and creating opportunities for us. We have a lot of people that have been with us for a long time and have started out in different positions. So for instance, my director of operations, all the restaurants report to her, started out as a hostess, 20 years ago. The head brewer in Newark started out as a dishwasher. One of my regional managers started out as a hostess also in Newark 20 years ago. The other regional manager was a bartender here when we opened in 1998. So it's about finding ways and opportunities and creating opportunities for them to develop. And we spend a lot of time on that in terms of we're big on one-to-ones where the managers meet with the direct reports and talk about how they're performing, and also about ways for them to grow within the organization if they choose to. Some people it's just I'm a college kid, I need a job for the next 2 years and want some spending money. But for other people it's a career for them, and to really treat it as a career and create opportunities for them. One of the biggest things that we do in terms of community involvement is we have a signature dessert. It's a triple chocolate hill.
I was just going to talk about that.
When we first we wanted to find a way, and it's again part of our mission to give back. So we really looked at creating a signature dessert, and it took us it took us a couple years to come up with it, and it's changed since then. But for every one that's purchased, we donate $1.50 to charity. And originally, all the money went to the Cure Search, which is the National Children's Cancer Foundation. And we were looking for a charity that really fit in to what we want to do. And we like to focus on children's charities, to be honest with you, and local charities are kind of a prerequisite. This one's not necessarily local, but it really focuses on cancer research. And if you look at a lot of different nonprofits and charities, one of the big things is how much money actually goes to the mission. And a really high percentage of the dollars that get raised actually go to research for children's cancer. My partner, Mark's wife, is a pediatric oncologist at AI DuPont, and she really lobbied hard for us to get involved with Cure Search.
Okay, so that's a
That's
connection.
kind of how we got into it. And then a few years ago, we changed the program so that half of the $1.50 goes to NCCF company-wide, all the restaurants. Then each restaurant gets to pick a local charity.
I think that's
You know, we've tried to focus or do some things with local farmers and so forth, but our challenge is just we're just so big that they can't deliver to us the volume. So you know, when we can, we do work with local folks. I mean, our produce vendor is actually here in Westchester. And because we're not a national chain, we can still do that. Our fish vendor is in Maryland, not far away.
and mushrooms, like this,
Seafood.
kind of square mushrooms as well.
Yeah, but they come through one of our other vendors.
Okay.
Our dairy comes from Delaware. Our meat comes from South Jersey. So as much as we can stay local, we need to find vendors that can really provide or be able to scale up and deliver to 11 restaurants.
And
throughout the
I
region.
guess we could also say that Ironhouse, most of their beer sales are locally
Absolutely.
brewed,
Everything
yeah,
brewed on
on
site.
site. I
And,
mean, that would be when I thought about environment, and especially Iron Hill, I was definitely thinking about the beer, and then I mean, it's brewed 2 steps away. It can't get any closer. It can't get any closer than that.
Yeah, we try with the grains and so forth. When we're done, we try to get a pig farmer or a farmer that comes out and takes them, and then they reuse them for feed for the. Usually it's a pig farmer.
Okay.
So yeah, we try to do what we can, but it is a challenge just because of our size and finding folks that can provide 11 restaurants with. One of the big things I think in the restaurant industry is consistency.
I
And
agree.
finding consistently
I
high
definitely
quality products is a challenge.